the end.
Yeah.
What's up, folks? Greg from Outdoor Garage and East Coast F100. And today I want to bring you this quick video on if you're looking for a fuel tank option and you want to get the fuel tank out of your cab but don't want to spend $900 on an aluminum tank. I got an option here for you I found. Well, let's get into it. Alright, so I found this kit online on cjponyparts.com. It's advertised to fit a 61 through 72 Ford F100. They don't really specify on bed length. There's a couple questions on the site asking what it'll fit, and it's kind of general response is, yeah, it'll fit anything. So the kit comes with some straps. The mounting hardware for the straps comes with the donut for the send unit and the holder for the send unit, and a 73 through 10 ohm sending unit. The tank itself is 17 gallons. It has a couple different strap options. I guess it's meant for a variety of different things. You can strap it from either direction. The fill neck is kind of, in my opinion, useless. I'm probably going to cut that off and put a quick fill mount that bolts to the tank on it. The sending unit and fuel inlet go to the passenger side. I don't know if that's a problem because if you're keeping an FE engine, the pump is on the driver's side. But overall, the tank is constructed nicely. They put added bracketry here, little stiffeners, so if you want to mount it to the frame versus using the straps, it's all here. I want to drop it in here and mock it up so you guys can get a good visual of what it looks like. You don't have to cut the frame down like you do the Mustang tanks, and that's kind of why I didn't go that direction, because I did not want to rip the frame rail down to fit it. The only thing I really had to do was drill the holes for the mounting brackets. Just simple alignment, and that's really it. It fits in there pretty nicely, and I moved this cross member back like 8 inches, and I'll show you what that looks like. So I got it fit in there. And I have a little more room than most of you guys are going to have, because this cross member was originally right here. I had moved it back because I had originally planned to make my own tank, but thanks to inflation, it wasn't worth purchasing the sheet metal and doing all that work. Building my own tank would have been like $600 or $700 just for the materials. This is what it looks like for you guys that have not changed your cross member location. It is an incredibly tight fit, but it does fit in between the cross members. And like I was saying, your sending unit and your fuel line are going to go to the passenger side, so you're going to have to run your line through here in that way, or you can rotate the tank, but your filler neck is going to be higher further in the bed. One other problem I see, but I think you'll have the same problem with most other tanks you do, is this bed bolt. You're not going to be able to get to it just because of how tight it is. You're not going to be able to get a hand up there. So you might want to use like an encapsulated nut for that, or before you do your finishing, weld a nut to the back side of the frame. But you won't be able to use a carriage bolt. You'll have to use either hex or a screw or something like that. So here's your distance that the top of the tank is going to be away from the actual bottom of the bed. So your bed supports, they're going to run about here and here. If you're going to flush mount this tank or just direct mount it to the frame, just with nuts and bolts, no spacers or anything, you could have some clearance issues with that center that center support. The method I am going to use for mounting this tank, I went and picked up a bushing kit for sway bar links, and I am going to put one on the top and one on the bottom here, just like this, and I'll squeeze them together with some 3/8 bolts. So the tank will be isolated. Maybe it'll take some of the vibration out of the tank, keep the fuel from bouncing around. At least that's the theory. And there's no cutting to the frame on this. The only thing you have to do is drill your holes. Let's talk about the straps. So here's the straps. Comes with the mounting hardware for that. I don't know what you would use this for. Maybe it'll work for you guys that have not moved your rear cross member, but it doesn't fit anything on my frame. Maybe it's better used for the earlier models. I don't know. But I am not using the straps. I am just simply going to mount it with my isolators. Put one there and one on the bottom, and that'll bolt through, and that'll bolt right to the frame. I just want to give you how I'm going to actually set this up. So I'm going to use the hardware provided with the sway bar end link kit, isolator, and from here it would just go right to the back, right to the bottom of the frame, and then a nut on top of that. And I'll tighten that down and it'll be nice and secure. Here's the next point I want to make. When you go to your local hardware store, you go to the bolt bin to get your bolts, make sure you double check, because this is all out of the 3/8 bin, and I got 3 7/16 14s by 2.5 and 1 3/8 16 by 2.5 out of the same bin. So I guess I'm going back to Lowe's to get more hardware. Well, after a quick trip back to Lowe's, I finally actually got the right bolts from the right bin. Unfortunately, they didn't have grade 8s in 2.5, so I wound up getting grade 5s. And honestly, this tank will be shredded in half before these bolts break, so I'm not overly worried about it. That's how it'll bolt up to the frame, and I already have my holes pre-drilled, so I'll get this thing bolted in and we'll do some wiggle testing and see if you guys approve. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing set in place. Put just a tiny bit of pressure on it so I can still slide the bushings around, get the holes lined up. You always think you have what you need before you film, but I always end up finding something that you're missing. Alright, I got everything finger tight. Now I'm going to tighten everything down. For you guys that don't have your cross member moved and you're putting it in that tight space, this is going to be the tool you're going to use. You could just simply take it, get it between the tank and the frame rail, just like that. Of course, it only works so long. Base of the stud kicks out. I would have easier access just going like this, but I'm trying to do it the hard way, showing that this cross member is not moved. You can still do it. It's not going to be that much of a pain in the butt. All right, that is it. So it is in there, and it is in there very good. Let me give you guys a little bit closer look on what it looks like fully mounted. So there, the tank should be isolated from vibrations. This also helps because the frame rail is not perfectly flat. And if you mount it directly to the frame without any kind of isolators, it's going to bend the tank because it's going to want to conform to the frame. Sorry, my leaf spring was in the way. Same thing on this side. Alright folks, overall it was very easy to install. A couple of things I like, a couple of things I don't like. I like the fact it fits perfectly in between the frame rails and it'll fit in between the supports. The only thing I'm not sure of is if a 6-foot bed truck has a different distance here than a 8-foot bed truck, because that's what this is. I like that they put extra mounting points on the side and extra support underneath the tank for mounting it directly to the frame. I'm not sure what the straps are for, if they're for an earlier truck, because this is a 67. Maybe it's for a later truck. I don't know what the different years, what changes they made to the frame. I don't like the filler neck. I am going to cut this out. And tanks.com, they sell a low profile fill neck that has the automatic cap that automatically closes. You can just take the filler and stick it in, and it opens, and you fill it, and pull the filler tube out, and it closes. And I'm going to cut a trap door in the bed. And I'll go to a junkyard and plunder some gas door parts. So I push it, it pops up, open it, fill, close. But this is, I put the level here so you know where the beam is going to be. When you guys have this tank forward where it's going to be in your trucks, it is going to be quite close. This is why I recommend using their Extreme Energy sway bar end link bushings. And I just got them at Advanced AutoZone. That's where they sell them, right in the performance section. But overall, I'm happy with it. I just wanted to share this because there's not much on it. I'm not sponsored. They didn't give me the tank. I bought it. They don't even know I'm doing this. I don't particularly care. I'm just trying to help you guys. But next task is all the plumbing. I am going to run a 3/8 line all the way to the motor. I am going to run a 1/4 inch return line, even though I don't need that right now. I just want the option, so if I ever decide to go the fuel injection route with this truck, I'll have it. That's it. I hope you got something out of it, and if you have questions or you want to see certain pictures, certain measurements, hit me up in the comments, and thanks for tuning in.